2012 left New England. In a new interview, Guerrero pointed the finger at Bill Belichick's treatment of TB12, saying, quote, "He never evolved. You can't treat someone who's in his 40s like they're 20. It doesn't work." So, Shannon, do you believe Alex Guerrero is speaking for Brady?
Yeah. I've said this all along, Skip. I'm a firm believer. Skip, you know what today is? It's only fitting that we're having this topic. September 23rd, 2001, Tom Brady replaced the injured Drew Bledsoe 20 years ago.
Oof.
Of course. I've been saying this. But, Skip, that's how Coach Belichick keeps. Remember, this is how he keeps the purse strings tight. Well, I only play Tom this. I can't pay you more than Tom. I treat Tom like this. I can't treat you better than Tom. So that's how he's always been able to reside and hover over that organization. But I told you, at some point in time, Skip, all the winning in the world is not going to be overcome that. My college coach, Bill Davis, rest his soul, he used to tell us all the time, I'm going to treat you all fair, but I ain't going to treat you all the same. That guy, he gets certain privileges that other guys understand. I understood that John Elway and Terrell Davis was going to be able to do things, miss practice, and do things that I wasn't going to, and I was cool with it. Because my time was going to come, and Shannon Sharp was going to get treated different.
And by the way, Alex Guerrero said the other Patriots would have been cool with it if Brady had been treated differently.
What I look like being coming, John Elway, man, why John ain't practicing? Man, they just gone to been to 5 Super Bowl. Man, stop. I'm good, Skip. I'm good with it. But you can't, and that's what college coaches struggle with, Skip, when they come to the pros. You can't treat a grown man that got a wife and kid like you can a teenager.
No.
Coach Belichick should have acquiesced. Okay, Tommy, you want a day? Okay, Tommy, don't call him out in front of his team.
No, that's it.
You cannot treat he treated him the exact same way. The way he drafted him, treated him like a 6th rounder until the day he walked out the door.
That is correct. And now Tom Brady is on a revenge mission.
Yeah.
You can call it a tour. And first it was his father the other day. Remember, his father took a shot at Belichick. And now the trainer that he is so close with, it's like a brother, is taking a public shot at Bill Belichick. And you cannot tell me it's not all coming from Brady himself. Because his blood is boiling and he is spoiling to go back to Foxborough and stick it to the coach who gets so much credit for creating him and the Patriot dynasty.
The game that he had against Atlanta, he won that game against them. He want to throw 5 touchdowns against them.
Lord have mercy, does he? That's why I told you earlier in the show, I'm a little concerned that he would actually look past by far the toughest game on his schedule, which happens to be at Rams, as he looks to Foxborough, which will be the game of his life. This is the one he would want more than any. He would probably give up a Super Bowl for this game to go back and stick it to him and put him back in his place. And Guerrero is saying what you've been saying from the start. You have to evolve. He said he couldn't evolve until when Tom gets to 35 and then 40. You have to start treating with some respect. You can't have a film session, a full team film session, and call him out and humiliate him in front of the team because he's already won 5, 6 Super Bowls. You can't do that.
After he wins the first one, you can't do that anymore.
No,
Skip, even though I made mistakes, Mike never did that. If there was a problem, I did something in the game, I missed an assignment, Mike would call me up to his office. He's like 84, I would never do that in front of the team.
Or during practice. From what I was told, starting with Chad Johnson, then Ocho Cinco, Belichick will stop, or he used to stop practice, just stop it cold and go after Tom Brady. What are you thinking? Well, Elway wouldn't have stood for that. Troy Aikman wouldn't have stood for that. How many times did Jimmy Johnson say, hey, Troy, Emmett, Michael, they have different rules, right? Because they're just going to have different rules.
Well, you remember when Jimmy cut the guy? The reporter asked him, say, what's that have been Troy? He said, I woke his ass up. The other guy got cut. I don't woke, hey, Troy, you dozing.
Okay.
But Skip, that's just the way it look. Coach Belichick knows this, Skip, but in order for him to keep that stranglehold on the locker room like he has it, he felt he had to do it this way.
Okay, Brady knows that he allowed Bill Belichick to stay prehistoric. Like he didn't evolve to the point that he was so outdated. He was getting away with an iron-fisted rule over a team that no coach in the league at that point in history could get away with. Right?
But Skip, I fought Tom too, because Tom could have went to Bill. He had the cachet. Even though I was never the player, but there are certain things I told my coaches, you can't talk to me like that. Now, if you keep talking to me like that, I'm going to see what you're talking about.
Tom was raised by his dad to be a good soldier, you know, do what the coach says.
You know how we came. Skip, I came up in the era before Tom. It was always the coach. Yes, sir, the coach is right. The coach is never wrong. But as I got to be an adult, you're not finna talk to me any kind of way. Because if you keep talking to me any kind of way, I'm going to need to find out what you're really talking about.
Yeah. This is Tom Brady finally out from under Bill's thumb.
Yes.
This is Tom Brady having gone to Tampa in a pandemic with a torn MCL and won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
This is Tom Brady freed, Tom Brady unleashed, and he is now trying to get even with the man who, quote-unquote, created him.
Yep.
And he's doing it through dad and through trainer.
But Skip, what did I tell you? You remember his last year? He didn't show up for OTAs. Remember his last year? He was in Qatar. On the back of a camel, Monaco, or wherever he was. I say, Skip, it's over. Because Tom Brady in the previous 19 years would have never done that. He was always there. And he tried to make it with Tommy missing. No, Tommy didn't.
Okay,
that was a big thing.
You brought it up a few minutes ago. He plays an AFC championship game and throws for 124 in the fourth quarter, and they come back from 20-10 down to Jacksonville at home in the cold with 12 stitches in the palm of his throwing finger, thumb and palm. And the point is, Belichick just dismisses it after the game and says, well, it wasn't exactly open heart surgery.
Any other coach would have been heaping praise, and that's what makes that guy special.
On Fox. Now, Andy Dalton is expected to miss the game with a knee injury, but Coach Matt Nagy says that the veteran signal caller will remain the starter when healthy moving forward. So, Shannon, will Fields seize this opportunity and win the job for good?
Well, theoretically, he didn't seize the opportunity. He got it by default. It doesn't matter, Skip, but he's the starting quarterback now. We've heard this before. Skip, you know Jerry Jones was still talking about when Tony Romo was healthy, he was going to be the starting quarterback. He said that in week 8, week 9, week 12. Guess what? I guess Tony back hadn't healed up yet, because it's been 5-6 years that Dak's still the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. So this is going to be incumbent on Justin Fields. Now, for me, if I had waited this long to start Justin Fields, I'm going to let him ride it out. Andy Dalton is not my quarterback of the future. So unless Justin Fields get hurt, I'm not going back to Andy Dalton.
You're not?
I'm not.
But you said from the start that Andy Dalton should start this whole year.
No, I didn't say this whole year. I said Andy Dalton should start because you're buying time for Justin Fields to get... See, and everybody said, well, Trevor Lawrence is starting, and Zach Wilson is starting, and Mac Jones. But what did they remove? They removed the hedge that was in front of them to start. They got rid of Cam Newton. Mac Jones is starter. Zach Wilson never had a vet in there to start.
No.
Neither did Trevor Lawrence. They had Minshew. And Urban tried to convince us, it's still between Minshew. And what did they do? They ended up trading Gardner Minshew.
They did.
So, in other words, they got Andy Dalton. And they made it abundantly clear to me, Skip, when you paid Andy Dalton the money that you paid him and you brought him in, he was going to start to buy you some time for Justin Fields until he got mature enough to be able to start. Now that Andy Dalton getting injured has sped that process up, I'm not going back to Andy Dalton unless Justin Fields get hurt.
Yet Matt Nagy says he will not lose his job.
So here's the thing, Skip. And see, this is why I believe Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy knows he needs to win games. He believes Andy Dalton gives him a better chance to win than Justin Fields.
I agree with that, and that's why he also believes that the honeymoon period could last longer, because the longer he waits or keeps Justin Fields at bay on the sideline, that the longer it buys time for him, because he says, oh, let's wait until next year to start the Justin Fields era. Right?
I don't know if Pace, and I don't know if Miss McCaskey, who owns the team from her late father, Coach George Allen, Skip, I don't know if they're going to wait until next year to